There is a big change coming to Social Security at the end of September 2025 that millions of seniors are not prepared for. There are two steps you need to take before September the 30th. Otherwise, your benefits may slow down or you may not receive your Social Security benefits at all. And September is actually one of the most important months for Social Security because there are certain changes that are going to happen and information that is going to be reported that is going to determine how much money you're going to get in 2026. I'm going to give you the 5 predictions for Social Security in 2026 according to estimates that have just come out. My name is Kwame Kwade. I am a government benefits expert. I have been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve over the last 15 years. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and other personal finance topics that affect seniors both in and out of Congress. So if you are new to my channel, I am happy you're here. Welcome. Do me a quick favor, go into our comments and let me know your city and your state because I like to know where you guys are watching our broadcast from. And if you're watching this channel for a long time, thank you for continuing to support us. And we have a ton to cover. So there is a big change that the Social Security Administration had to implement because of President Trump's executive order that he issued earlier this year. He gave the Social Security Administration about essentially 90 days to prepare for this big change. And since then, the Social Security Administration has been scrambling to make this happen. And here is Fox News talking about it. A big change is coming for Social Security recipients at the end of September. So let me pull the information and then we will read it together. So Fox News is saying the Social Security Administration will stop issuing paper checks at the end of the month in a change that affects hundreds of thousands of beneficiaries across the US. The shift follows months after President Trump issued an executive order in March. So the executive order just happened in March, a few months ago, mandating all federal payments to be made electronically by September the 30th, which for a federal government is a pretty aggressive schedule, through means including direct deposit and prepaid debit cards. Paper-based payments are mostly costly and vulnerable to fraud, theft, errors, and delays, according to the White House. And here's the thing. As of September, more than 68 million Americans across the US and territories receive Social Security benefits. The Social Security Administration is actively contacting those beneficiaries and notifying them of the change, as well as process to shift to electronic payment before September the 30th. That is what a spokesperson told Fox Business. So let's talk about this. What does this mean for you? If you know somebody that is getting paper checks, this is the time to forward them this video because they are in for a surprise. If they don't make these two changes before the end of the month, their Social Security benefits, or specifically their Social Security check, is not going to come in. I mean, as I mentioned, the president issued the executive order and gave all the agencies a very short period of time to make it happen. The Social Security system has been changed to accommodate electronic payment for 100% of beneficiaries. So, if you or somebody you know is impacted by this, what do they have to do? Well, there are two things available to them, or two options that are available to them. So let's talk about it. So the first option is to go to a website, a government website called the Go Direct website. And it's important to write this down because this is the biggest step you have to take to comply with this executive order. So let me share this screen and I can walk you through the Go Direct website. So if you are currently receiving paper checks or you are about to sign up for Social Security benefits, this is the website where you go to sign up for direct deposit. And I'm going to read a little bit of what the website says. It says, to protect you against rising mail theft and financial fraud, the federal government will stop issuing paper checks after September the 30th, 2025, except in limited cases. Federal benefit payments are required according to the president's special executive order, to be made electronically through direct deposit to a bank or credit union account or through the direct express debit card. So those are your two options. You either get a bank account and have your social security benefits directly deposited, or you get the direct express debit card. Now, the direct express debit card is a government backed debit card issued on behalf of the Treasury Department for government benefit payments. So, if you're thinking, how do I do this? You have three options. You can do it online. You can go to Go Direct and sign up online. So you can see the options. They say you can click enroll online today for direct deposit into your checking or savings account. So that's number one. Option number two, call. You can call 1-800, actually 1-877-874-6347 to enroll in direct deposit or direct express debit card. Or you can download the form and fill it out and mail it in. Regardless, you have these two options: get a bank account with a local bank or credit union, or sign up for the Direct Express debit card. The Direct Express card acts like a regular debit card. The difference is that you can only receive government benefit payments on the card. It every month when your social security or disability benefits are due, they'll be electronically deposited into that prepaid card, and then you can now use it to make purchases online, in person, over the phone, to pay bills, to get cash out of the ATM. And there are very minimum fees associated with the Direct Express debit card. Because it's a government issued card, they have made sure that you have very few fees associated with the card, because they want to make sure that seniors and people on disability who are on fixed income are not burdened by prepaid card fees that are typical when you get a prepaid debit card. But make no mistake, it is a prepaid debit card issued by the federal government, backed by the federal government, to support electronic receipt of federal benefit payments. So, as I mentioned, if you know somebody that is getting social security checks or disability checks in the mail, you forward this video to them, because it is critical information that they need to act on before the end of the month to avoid a delay of their benefit payments. And so now let's talk about the next thing I wanted to discuss with you. I wanted to give you why September is an important month in Social Security, and why my 5 predictions are spot on. So September, I'm not the only one saying this. I just saw an article today that actually said so much from Kiplinger, and they were saying that September is probably the most critical month in Social Security because of 2 reasons. And I'm going to tell you. The first reason is that they are going to release inflation data this September, and is the last inflation information that the Social Security Administration needs in order to decide how much cost of living adjustment you're going to get. And so everybody who knows what they're talking about regarding Social Security benefits is waiting for that information, because based on that, it's going to tell you with a reasonable effort where things are heading regarding Social Security increases that are going to be announced in October, specifically on October the 15th by the Social Security Administration. So here are my 5 predictions based on that. The first one is that I am predicting that Social Security cost of living adjustment is going to land at where we have always thought it was going to be since the last few months. And specifically, I think it's going to be 2.7%. Why do I say that? Because last month's inflation was 2.7%. And I'm predicting that this month will probably be around the same. And so if you look at what experts are predicting, including the Senior Citizens League, you are going to see a Social Security increase of 2.7%. So that is the first prediction. But now that you have a 2.7% increase, what does that mean for you? Well, the first thing it means is that you are going to get a $50 increase on average in Social Security benefits. And that then compares to the Medicare Part B premium, which is also going to go up by $20 at minimum, because Medicare Part B premium is projected to increase by 11.6%. So if you are a senior citizen trying to figure out how much am I going to get in increase on my monthly budget, basically you're going to get about $25 increase a month, because you're going to get about $50, and 25 of that is going to go towards your Medicare Part B increase. And so you're going to get an extra $25 increase a month based on cost of living adjustment. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say that is not enough. Well, I agree. But the problem is that that is the formula that the government is using. And so in order to fix that, it's going to take legislation that Congress has to pass in order to fix how Social Security COLA is calculated. One of those legislation is the Social Security expansion. I've been talking about this for months, and I'm still going to talk about it today, because this is a bill that is in Congress. So when your senator or your representative comes to your town and does a town hall, this is what you should be talking to them about. What are they doing to support the Social Security Expansion Act? Because it is going to fix how your cost of living is calculated to make sure that going forward, seniors get a fair shake when it comes to Social Security cost of living adjustment. So, my prediction is that your Social Security increase after you take out your Medicare Part B premium is going to be about $25 to $30. That is the second prediction for 2026. My third prediction is about Social Security increase. Now, a lot of seniors have been disappointed by missed opportunities and what they feel like they've been left behind by Congress all year, because you were promised Social Security increases. And even though it came, it did not apply to half of all seniors. So I am predicting, number three, that in addition to fixing COLA, the passage of the Social Security Expansion Act is going to give you, if you are getting less than $1,200 a month in Social Security benefits, you are going to get a $660 increase based on what is in the legislation for the Social Security Expansion Act. And let me bring that section right in front of you, and I can read it to you. So this legislation, among other things, is saying that it is going to improve the special minimum benefit for Social Security recipient. This would help low-income workers stay out of poverty by increasing the minimum benefit and indexing it to 125% of the federal poverty level. So it means that if the legislation should pass and you are receiving less than $1,300 in Social Security benefits, you are going to get about a $660 increase. And then your benefit is going to be pegged or matched to 125% of the federal poverty level. What does that mean in dollars and cents? Well, I'm going to tell you in a second, because I'm going to show you the federal poverty level numbers so that you can see how much increase you are likely to see based on that. So each year, the federal government releases a number that shows what they consider as poverty. And that number is important because it is what allows people to apply for government benefits like SNAP and Medicaid and etc. But it's also used for other things. So what they're trying to do is make sure that seniors on Social Security that through no fault of theirs are getting a very low check a month are moved out of poverty. And so if you look at this poverty chart, which is 2025, you can see that 100% of poverty is 15,650. So anybody getting less than 15,000 in Social Security benefits a year is living in poverty. By passing this legislation, a single person is going to get $19,562. So let's say you're getting $1,000 a month in Social Security benefits. Now, instead of getting 12,000 a year, you're going to get 19,000 in 2025, which means that you're getting an extra $7,500. And then it's going to keep growing because it's matched to 125. So every year the government releases their federal poverty numbers. All you have to do is look at 125%, and then you know how much Social Security benefits you are going to get if you are getting the minimum benefit. So I think this is the biggest news that seniors can be excited about, because uh, millions of seniors are getting less than $1,300 in Social Security, and this is going to be life changing for them. So that's my prediction number 3 for 2025, 2026. I hope I was not saying 2025 all along, but you get the point. Prediction number 4 has to do with Social Security Administration and your access to benefits. So recently, if you are one of those seniors that has been thinking about disability benefits and are not sure what disability is about, whether you qualify, if you haven't started receiving Social Security benefits yet and you don't know if you qualify for disability benefits, or you know somebody in your family that is eligible or you think is eligible for disability, but they don't know if their particular condition qualifies, well, the Social Security Administration is adding more conditions to their Social Security accelerated benefit application process. What this means is that there is a list of ailments. It's called the compassionate allowance list. If you have an ailment that falls on that list, you automatically are fast tracked when it comes to your Social Security disability application. And so here, the Social Security Administration has added 13 more conditions to that list. And I am going to pull it up and show you what those conditions are. I'm not going to name them because they are scientific terms. I don't want to butcher it. But you can see that they've added a lot more. And what this means is that the Social Security Administration will accelerate the benefit application for people suffering from these 13 health conditions. The conditions have been added to the agency's compassionate allowance list. The initiative is intended to expedite the process of obtaining disability Social Security benefits for individuals with the most serious afflictions. So, what is my prediction based on this? I'm predicting that a lot more people are going to realize that their condition that they thought did not qualify for disability now is on the list and is going to ease their path and their application process, because not only do they now qualify, but it's going to fast track them into fast approval. The average disability benefit takes 18 months to approve. If you are on this list, it's about 3 to 5 months to get approval. So that is my 4th prediction. My 5th prediction for 2026 is that Congress is going to do something finally about Social Security and the solvency issue. If you've been paying attention, they've been talking about fixing Social Security forever and nothing happens, because it's typically what Congress does. There's a lot of talk, very, very little action, until they are at the brink and they feel like they have to do something. Well, I think 2026 is that brink. I think we are at a point where they cannot kick it further down the line. They have to take action. Why? Because come 2032, all seniors on Social Security are going to lose a chunk of money. Specifically, they're going to lose 25% of their benefits if nothing is done. So there are many, many options out there to fix Social Security for the long haul. There is one idea that was recently proposed, which I think is very exciting and is going to probably be the easiest path for Congress to fix this issue. And here it goes. So there's a proposal in the Senate to create a $1.5 trillion investment fund for Social Security. I know a lot of people have been saying that Congress stole money from Social Security and never put it back. Well, they are putting some money back into Social Security with this investment. So how it's going to work is that Social Security is going to get $300 billion every year for 5 years. That is $1.5 trillion. And then that 1.5 trillion is going to be invested in the stock market, in other assets to grow over time. They're going to give it 70 years to grow. So they're trying to fix Social Security for the next 70 years. So they're going to give it 70 years to grow. They're not going to touch it. Everything that is going to be earning is going to be put back in to continue to grow, reinvested. Any dividend, any interest, or it's all going to be put back into that fund. In the meantime, when we get to 2032, when the Social Security Administration now have to cut benefits, they can now borrow money to be able to pay seniors what is owed them. Why can they borrow money? Because current legislation does not allow them to do that. The current legislation requires them that if the trust fund runs out of money, you're going to pay people with what you get. And what you get is 75% of what you need. And that's why they're going to cut your benefits by 25%. But with this investment, they are now going to be able to borrow money because they have a collateral, which is the $1.5 trillion fund, in order to pay back the money that's borrowed. That is the general idea. And when you know anything about Congress, they like to do the easy things. They don't want to make the hard decisions like taxing the high income earners to pay more into Social Security. They don't want to do the hard things like removing the income gap so that everybody pays Social Security taxes on all their income. They want to do the easy thing. And so this idea to me is the easiest path into solving the Social Security problem for 70 years. So those are my 5 predictions. Let me know what you think is going to happen. What are your 5 predictions for Social Security in 2025, 2026? And I want to hear from you in the comments because you guys are closer to the action, probably better than I am, because you are living it. And so let me know what you think is going to happen, what you believe is going to happen, and then we can compare with what I'm saying I think is going to happen based on my expert and my expertise on studying this and staying on top of this. These are the 5 things that I think is going to happen. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. And finally, here is some good news. We are entering the Medicare open enrollment period. And a lot of seniors have been surprised by how many Medicare plans have been canceled this year, how many insurance companies have left Medicare programs and left seniors hanging. If you want to guarantee that you are in the right Medicare program so that when you need the help, you have the necessary coverage and support, you need to call our partner, Chapter Medicare. Chapter has helped over 2,000 of our viewers get into the right Medicare plan. And you may be thinking, why is that important? Well, the worst thing you can do is to get into a situation, a health situation, and realize that the coverage that you were thinking you had is no longer there, or you never even had to begin with because you picked the wrong plan among the 24,000 plans that are out there. Chapter is there to be in your corner. They are not there to sell you anything. They are not there to push anybody's plan. They are there to look at your current plan and then see if you are in the right plan. And if you are, they will tell you. If you're not, they will work with you to see all the available options because they have access to all the 24,000 plans and then tell you which plans meet your needs, your budget, the coverage you need, the network you want, and then help you make an informed decision. So call them today, 539-205-2147, or visit askchapter.org/insider. I'm going to put their phone number and their link in the comments, in the description. If you don't want to call, click on the link and they will reach out to you and help you get you into the right Medicare plan. Look, these are the folks you're going to be talking to. They are A+ rated and they can save you $1,100 a year. That's a ton of money, especially today. So give them a call. Now, if you like what you heard today, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this video with somebody you think needs to hear what's happening at the end of September so that they can avoid having their benefits interrupted because they missed a critical deadline. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for watching.